This is the start of a 4-week adventure over to Singapore, Australia and Hong Kong, and a holiday which, my first holiday in 8 years. My last time I was away for this amount of time was when I went to America back in 2010. So it was a well-deserved break and I was definitely looking forward to it. So it was a quick early morning start on Christmas Eve, and we drove over to Manchester Airport, which took about an hour and 20 minutes. And as soon as we got to the airport, we checked our bags in and we went to find the Premier Lounge and just to have a bacon sandwich or whatever was on offer with some drinks and whatever, complimentary of course. And then we were basically just hanging around for our flight. So my mum's enjoying a few G&Ts nice and early in the morning, so good on you, Mum.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Enjoying ourselves, ready to get onto the flight, which we're flying with Emirates over to Dubai on an A380. The first time I've been on an A380. I've just thought I'll share the taxi up to the runway and the experience of the takeoff. You can see the airflow over the wing. And yes, unfortunately, I did have to ask for a belt extension. Even though it's a bigger plane, the belts are still not big enough for me yet, so I needed that extension. And the tray table also didn't come fully down because my belly still gets in the way. So it was a bit of a logistical nightmare when we came to have our lunch served later on the flight. So after we finished our lunch, I couldn't wait any longer and I had to use the toilets for the first time on the flight. And I was dreading this because I didn't know how big or small they would be. But it turned out to be a snug fit, which I was surprised by, with it being an A380, one of the largest passenger aircraft in the world. But I was still able to fit in there, even though I still had to do a bit of a 360 rotate when opening, closing the doors to get into the toilet. But you know, I'm getting smaller, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier using these facilities as the time goes by. Once we eventually landed in Dubai, a couple of hours late because we were circling above Dubai for at least 1 or 2 hours due to bad weather, it meant we had less time to get to our connecting flight. So it was a quick turnaround at Dubai, and then it was our flight all the way over 7.5 hours later to Singapore. Basically, this is now Christmas Day in effect. You know, it was interesting coming to land down over Singapore, seeing all of the countless cargo ships, freighters, etc. as we were coming in to land there. Just landed, I can see a quick photograph of the plane that we flew on from Dubai, and we were waiting for our luggage to come off the plane, and we were waiting about an hour and a half for the luggage to come, and then my luggage thankfully came, but unfortunately my mum's luggage had gone missing, and a number of other passengers' luggage had also gone missing as well. So my mum ended up having no clothing whatsoever for Christmas Day and Boxing Day, but because of the delay waiting for our luggage, which obviously only mine turned up, all my mum's went missing, we also missed our connection taxi over to our hotel, so we had no choice but to go on get another local taxi, pay for it ourselves, which was an additional expense which we weren't planning on, and go drive over looking at the sights towards our hotel, which was the Pan Pacific Hotel. And yeah, but as soon as we arrived at the hotel, we did encounter another problem. Hi guys, we've just arrived in Singapore in the hotel, and as I say, we've just experienced yet another little glitch in the travel. So we've just got to our rooms. We should have twin beds, separate beds, but we've got one bed. So sharing with my mum. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just another glitch to add to it, but it's a nice room though. Okay, so we've just arrived in our room. This is the bathroom. Nice bathroom. Just got off the plane, absolutely knackered. What's through here? Okay, there's the toilet, and obviously the shower. Twin rooms. We're on floor 34. This is Singapore, looking out from our room. Kettle. After I'd finished my tour of the room, we then started to unpack our clothing. Well, what clothing we had. My mum had only what was on her back, and she did think ahead though, and she did put a couple of clothing in her hand carry, so she at least did have something to change into for Boxing Day. But as we were unpacking, that's when a thunder and lightning storm rolled in with quite heavy rain, and I thought I'd do a quick time lapse of this for you, which you can see there. And we basically finished after we unpacked, well, should I say I unpacked my things. We then went up to the top floor, the VIP room, just to have something to eat and drink. And basically these are the photographs from that VIP room looking over Singapore. But anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed my first day, or the first day of travel of the holiday, and I'll see you all guys again tomorrow for Boxing Day and see what we got up to for our second day on our holiday.